It has been requested that we share our story of how we met. So here's the story of how we met. Let's get that coffee cranking through our sis. We'll have a few sips and then get the show on the
You
road.
think that is very funny. It is. We met about 10 years before we actually got together at a mutual friend's birthday party.
It was before I had come out. We've been together for like 6 years now. I remember sitting and chatting with Nina and all of a sudden just getting like really freaked out and being like, oh my God, I'm gonna go. Like I am feeling very gay, which was not a particularly okay thing for me to be feeling at the time. Or I felt that it wasn't okay. So yeah, I left.
Yeah, like halfway through a conversation pretty much. Claire just almost cut into the conversation, sort of like really cut the flow. At one point I was just like, I gotta go, so bye kind of a thing. And I was like, I had been too nervous at the time to ask Claire to go, for a drink or a coffee or whatever, to go on a date, because I was 20 and I had come out and I had my first relationship with another woman, and I was like, we'd just broken up recently and I was sort of a bit heartbroken and melancholic and all woe is me. I used to give a journal almost every day.
I'm not supposed to
read
this.
it.
Oh my
this
gosh.
is like horrible for me to look back at. This is like, journals are only for one person. Okay.
I'm sorry. Every time I try to help, she reminds me that it's an invasion of privacy.
Saz was talking a little about this girl, Claire, brackets, that I have a minor crush on. Trying to downplay it. Tonight, Claire is from Sarah's TAFE, and I just thought she was lovely and ridiculously captivating and funny. And, well, she is completely gorgeous. Oh, goodness.
Very good. So Nina's gone home and she's written this like beautiful journal entry.
There's one more line I have to read before you finish that sentence.
Okay, go.
Meeting her at Sarah's 21st just re-instilled my faith in the fact that there are amazing, in capitals amazing, people out there. Anyways, it's almost midnight, so it must be off.
Dear diary.
Shit.
Nina's gone home and done that, and I've I think probably went home and got drunk or something, tried to pretend that I wasn't gay. Then nothing for approximately 10 years.
I mean, there are other things that I've earmarked throughout my journal where I've written about you over months later.
Obsessed.
I was so scared that if I said, oh, hey, would you like to go for a coffee sometime? That she would go, oh, gross, you're yuck, you're a lesbian, ugh, yuck, you queer freak girl, really horrible.
Yeah.
But it's like, you have this...
So shit that
I
you
certainly had that fear that...
felt that way.
I just had that fear because I was so scared that, well, I guess of rejection or...
Which, is probably what would have happened if you had told me that at that time. Because it was before I'd come out. I mean, I wouldn't have, I'm sure I would have been very polite. I would have been like, ew, yeah, gross. But that's why I left, because I was freaked out.
Yeah.
And because I was moved by your brilliance, but
because I thought there was a vibe. That was the thing. Was a vibe.
I was just a vibe denier.
You can always tell. You can feel chemistry when you meet someone that you're attracted to and connecting with. And that can be really confronting when you're not ready to connect with that particular person.
I was 22 at the time, and I came out when I was 23, which we're going to make a video about. We're going to make our coming out videos because that has also been requested. So make sure you subscribe if you would like to hear about our journeys with that side of things. But yeah, I wouldn't have been ready at the time. Thank goodness we weren't feeling ready at that time, because would we be together now? Maybe not. If we'd been each other's first big love or whatever. So that's how we met. The real question when people ask that is how we got together. I was going through a bit of a time. I was feeling really, really down, and I made all these videos. It was a wonderful sketch comedy show. And then one day, Nina sends me a message. This girl, out of the blue. You had been going through a pretty shitty time as well, right? And you were watching my stupid videos.
Yeah. Really funny videos.
Funny. Very funny.
They brought me joy.
Hey everyone, it's me again, Claire Sarah, talking to you from the internet.
Nina sent me a message telling me like how funny she thought I was, which is
Mm.
really flirty.
And then it was like just a message, like
It was
Claire
a
responded,
message fest.
and then it was like message after. It was like one essay length message a day, pretty much.
It was like 5 essay length messages a day.
What was that?
Yeah, very, very romantic.
Very sweet.
And then one day I was with these young people and they were like egging me on because I was like, I've been chatting with this girl and blah, 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 blah. And they were like, oh my God, let's FaceTime her. So I did. I was very drunk when the next FaceTime happened. And Nina had like a broken ankle at the time and she wasn't working. And I was like, if she's not working, she should be in Melbourne hanging out with me because that's logical, isn't it? I knew that she had a gig coming up in Sydney.
And we'd only been chatting for about 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, it was pretty
Like it was.
hectic. It was fast. It was fast and
pretty much
furious.
like 2 weeks of chatting, and then like, well, why don't you come to Melbourne, sort of a thing.
Yeah. I was like, hey, I was thinking it'd be really, really good if you would come to Melbourne and hang out with me. So this one, as I don't know if it was like some sort of challenge, she was like, I know, why don't you come and meet me in Sydney and then I'll come back to Melbourne with you? And I was like, okay. And I hired a car and I drove to Sydney and I got
from
there.
Melbourne to Sydney.
It was something
As
like
we were sound
10
checking.
minutes before
Yeah.
you started playing.
Yeah, and it was my least
Wild.
impressive gig, I think, because not like the band played great, but because I had this fractured ankle, so I was like, of all the times I'm asking a girl to a gig to like impress her, you know, be like, oh yeah, come see me on stage with the band. Oh my goodness, I'm on this stool playing this guitar and trying to sing, and the mic's running away from me, and all this. I was like, this is my least impressive show ever.
It was so impressive.
It
Though.
was. I'm glad
So
it was
cool.
somehow impressive still.
Oh, we had an agreement because we were like, what are we gonna do? It's gonna be so. What if it's just like so awkward when we see each other?
Yeah,
So we had a plan.
Because whilst we had been chatting in the weeks prior, it wasn't like, ooh, I want to hook up with you and me. It wasn't necessarily romantic. Like when we went to, well, we both hoped it would be, I'm sure, but neither one of us has said that. It wasn't, you know, we didn't know what we were gonna be like when we got together. We both thought we're either gonna get a new best friend who's just a friend
And,
an
maybe
ultimate
a
best
fun
friend.
pash.
Yeah. Or like this will be a relationship. It wasn't
it wasn't
necessarily going to be like,
so what
yeah,
are you
let's,
wearing?
You know, yeah, it was just like just talking about each other and what we're interested in our lives and your favorite everything, your least favorite everything, your highest, your lowest.
Nina was
all
like,
the things.
Nina was like listing off all those different bands that she really liked, and then I'd quickly Google them and have a listen and be like, oh yeah, I really like them too.
I definitely did the same with you though. I was like, oh yeah, Rufus Wainwright, I know him. I love him too.
Best friend ever. Best friend. So we were like, what are we gonna do? It's gonna be so awkward potentially. So we had an agreement that when we first saw each other, we would just hug and we would keep on hugging until it didn't feel awkward anymore. And that's what we did. And I think that's really good. If anyone is planning to have a first time encounter with someone that they've been dialoguing with online, I think that was a really good move.
The only person I think it was awkward for was the sound
Everyone
person
else.
and
Oh,
everyone
yeah.
else in the room because we were doing sound check at the time. But of course, Claire walks in, and I've seen her and gone, well, like I'd just gone to jelly, but I'm sitting on this stool. Claire's come up to me, and we've just hugged. And the sound person's like, "Yep, can you just turn up the
Give me the old
volume
1
on
2
your
1
amp?" And I'm
2.
like, "I'm just hugging here."
Sorry,
I just said
busy with
nothing back
something
to
really
them.
important.
It was great.
Yeah, and then so Nina played, so amazing, and then the next band played and we pashed, and that was really cool. I was like, because I was super nervous, I was just throwing back beer like someone who's able to drink, which I'm not.
Not a drinker.
No,
Not a drinker.
not at all anymore. But
No,
at the
not
time, I was, I
Yeah.
was super duper drunk. But I have this very clear memory of being at the bar
Yeah.
after all the bands had played and everything. This couple of young people, these two young'uns, being like, "Oh my god, are you two like together?" And we just both looked at each other and we were like, "Yep." So that's So good. So yeah, the rest is history. We went back to Melbourne. We had like a 21-day first date.
Yeah.
Our parents met each other in that time, and like Nina's siblings and stuff. And
Yeah.
so good. I think that's it.
And that's
to fill in.
the story of that's the glory of love.
That's right.
Ah, Claire.
Oh, Nina.
Yeah. So that pretty much wraps up our meeting story.
That's our meeting story.
Getting together. Our meeting and getting together story.
Meeting, getting together,
2 chapters.
1 book. So on this channel, we are sharing our beautiful gay lives together and our journey to creating a family. So if that's something that you would like to hear more about, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, we're about to start IVF. Wild.
Yeehaw.
Wild.
Really wild.
You are the universe, and the universe loves you, and nothing is more important to me than the universe. So open your hearts and your minds and your souls, and you too can be beautiful.